Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again. As always, I just need to point out, my dear friends, if it seems like I'm talking weirdly, that's because I am. Yesterday, I cracked one of my teeth on a pork scratching. Idiotic fucking move. Back wisdom tooth at the top there. And it's cracked and it's left a razor sharp little chunk of tooth behind it, and it's digging into the side of my cheek, something rotten. When I'm talking, when I'm eating, it's like having a little knife wedged into my fucking gum. So I've stuck a lot of chewing gum up there to try and stop it digging in there, obviously, because I simply can't afford to go to the dentist, my friends. An extraction is something like a band 3 treatment, is it? It was something like over 100 quid. It's going to cost me just to get this fucking thing out. I've only just recently shelled out £70 odd on a scale and polish, so I'm potless. It's coming up to Christmas and I cannot afford all this bullshit, so I've had to resort to getting one of them temporary crown fix things off Amazon. Hopefully that does the trick, because like I say, I simply cannot afford to go. So yeah, if I'm speaking a bit weirdly, like I've had a stroke or something, well, that's the reason why. Anyway, my dear friends, I've got to admit, I'm skipping over the immigration shit again because I've got to be honest with you. Running a YouTube channel that's based solely on political issues in a tiny country is, I don't know, it's hard work. I run out of things to bring you guys that isn't evolving around small boats, immigration, murder, paedophilia, or sexual contact of some sort. It's soul destroying at times, guys, bringing you the same old shit time after time again. So I've got to try and mix it up even just a little bit, simply to keep you guys interested, because if I'm pumping out the same shit time after time after time after time, I'm going to lose audience, I'm going to lose subscribers, and that's the one thing I don't want. I don't want my tiny little channel to die. It's one of the main outlets that I have that I can share my grievances, really, because like I've said to you before, the friends I have, I can count on one hand for probably 3 fingers, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, regardless, let's move on and get on to what I really want to talk to you about. I've recently watched a video from Charlie Veach earlier tonight. I can't remember if it was from yesterday or today. And he visited a town that is extremely close to where I live. I'm not doxing myself. I live a good few miles away, so if you try and find me to, I don't know, confront me or anything, then yeah, good luck. I'm talking about Mansfield. Now, I've not been to my city centre for many, many years. Well, as you guys probably know, I've told you often enough, I very seldom leave my house. I don't like going outside, so it's been a good few years since I've entered my closest city centre. And Charlie Beach was walking around the place. And you know what, right? It's exactly the same as any other major town and city in this country. Now, Mansfield is relatively small. It's a small little town, a small little city, whatever it is. I'm not quite sure if it's a town or a city. I think it's a town. And the same thing is happening there as the rest of the populace, the rest of the towns and cities. You've got rows and rows of either run-down, roguey, scummy-looking pubs, you know, your typical Weatherspoons, or a pub that's changed hands more times than a poker hand. So a bit of a shit analogy, but you know what I'm saying. Rough, run-down, and look like the city's got some kind of terminal illness. I mean, there's smackheads everywhere, there's druggies everywhere, there's pissheads everywhere, there's vape shops everywhere, there's barbers. Where the fuck that came from? Well, I suppose you could say that. You can never be too far away from finding a Greggs as well, mixed into this horrible metropolis that seems to be polluting the entirety of the country at the moment, and it makes me utterly depressed. The last time I went into my city centre, I tell no lie, it must have been around 5 or 10 years ago. Like I said, I don't leave the house very much because I've got no desire to leave my house, because I know what's out there. I prefer to stay within the confines of where I live because it's nice and peaceful and it's untouched by certain diversity structures that the rest of the country has. But to be quite honest with you guys, Mansfield in itself isn't that diverse. We do have a couple of hotels within the city centre. Of course we do. They're bloody everywhere. They're up and down the country. They are in every single facet of every single county, nationwide, up and down the country, as we all know. But it's not to this. It's not to the same extent where it's changing the place dramatically, but it's still going through the same demographic changes as, say, London or Manchester or Birmingham and Leicester is going through. Excuse me. Have you guys ever seen a movie called Silent Hill? It's where a woman goes to like this rundown, disused town to go and try and find a daughter who's run off. And there's like an evil in this town. And when this evil is about, the whole landscape of the town changes. It sort of like goes dark and dingy. And the whole town sort of like starts peeling away. And underneath that peel is sort of like drab, rusty sort of fencing and sheets of metal paneling and stuff like that. Looks awful. That's what's happening in today's cities and towns, even something as small as Mansfield. I've stipulated before in a couple of past videos, on the rare occasion now where I go back and visit my family in my hometown, it's gone the same way. Well, it went the same way when I first left there, which must have been over 15 years ago now. It's full of different languages, different races, different, creeds, cultures, whatever you want to call them. They even have markets in my hometown of Lancaster that sell all this weird and wonderful food. You got food from Thailand, Cambodia, Mexico, American, German, Italian. It gets thrown at your fucking face. It's no wonder I don't leave the house. I'm not interested in walking down a city centre in the middle of England, in the middle of the UK, and being bombarded with everything from around the fucking world. All I want to do is walk down a city centre with a bottle of mineral water in my hand and a cheese, ham and pickle sandwich. Not a Turkish coffee in one hand and some sort of burrito kebab in the other. I don't want any of that shit. I'm a purist. I'm a nationalist. I don't want any of that fucking noise. If I want a curry, on the very rare chances, yes, I will either make one myself or, pray to the fucking gods, I go for a takeaway. But I make sure I review it stringently to save me having the squits and getting a case of food poisoning. Anyway, I'm getting off subject here, guys. I'm on about food now. I'm talking about city centres. Anyway, I watched this video from Charlie Beach walking around my main city centre. And he even said himself, the decay is astonishing for everyone to see. No matter where he goes up and down the country to various city centres, walks around the place, and it's always the same tale of woe. Smackheads, pissheads, denigration, shops closing down, shops boarded up, and they're replaced with about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, possibly 10 bookies, slot machines, arcades, vape shops, barbers shops, and the occasional Greggs and M&S stuck in there somewhere. It's highly depressing, my friends. I do realise that online shopping does share some of the blame for this happening. People don't go to the high street to do their shopping anymore. They do it all online because, to be quite honest with you guys, it's a hell of a lot cheaper. I'm guilty of it myself. I can't remember the last time I went Christmas shopping in the middle of town. I must have been about 18 or 19 because I remember doing it Christmas Eve. I used to go down to town on Christmas Eve, get all my shopping done, go back home, splash a brute, get myself all dolled up, and get myself out ready for the Christmas Eve, jolly up, as you usually do when you get younger. Try your luck and see if you can get lucky, that kind of a thing. But not any longer. I use Amazon, various online shops, simply to save some money. But yeah, it's prevalent for everywhere to see. This whole country is just dying a very slow, horrible death, and I can't even blame it 100% on immigration because, like I say, Mansfield isn't that diverse. It's got some diversity, but at the rate it's degrading, I can't fully blame it. How much I would like to, but I can't. It's just the way that the whole country is going. I just wanted to share it with you. I'd love you to tell me what your city centre and what your town centre is like. The area you live. Is it ravaged with crime? How many hotels do you have in the area? And various other things. I'd love you to share your stories about how your town and city has gone down the shitter. Or, on the flip side, if you haven't seen these changes, then please do tell me. Give me some hope that there is still some natural beauty in England, in a town centre or a city centre somewhere, just to turn this horrible frown upside down. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, that's my video. Do enjoy your weekends. Carpe diem, and yeah, we're gonna have to get back to form. Fuck me sideways, this tooth. I have to get back to form sometime next week. Oh, I don't know. Talk about Keir Starmer or some boats or some hotel or some other fucking hideous crime that's probably going to be happening before that time arrives. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.